Hi. Thank God. I's here. We made it. I know IG is letting people know we're coming on. I'm so sorry. So late. Y'all know I don't like being this late. It has been a time. It has been a time. Y'all come on in, have a seat. We're going to try not to take up too much of y'all evening. Ooh, dear Lord, baby Jesus. Hi, mommy. Mommy, thank you for being a listening ear this week because it's been needed. It really has. Just waiting for Dex. Here we go. All right, let me. All right, go live with Dexter. And also, I felt weird. Luckily, last minute, I got on here not too long ago, Dex, and I looked at myself. I said, my mama, she done beat it to my mind. Where are your earrings? I could not start without my earrings.
You okay? You had a day, so I'm gonna let you live. I'm gonna let you live. Cause guess what? Your mother's here. I'm gonna let you live.
Mommy gonna gather you to get you right together. I got on here. I just pulled it up, and I'm like, okay, we're good. I somewhat put myself together some kind of way. And then I looked. I said, something ain't right.
Wait, I know. Okay.
Wait, Javon Pearson said it snowed out here in Southern California this morning. Again?
I did see that. Hey, Miss Kelly.
She got you together. You should, because Mommy watching you.
Nah, I was about to snitch on you.
What you about to say? Go ahead. Go ahead. We all family on here. Go ahead, snitch,
Me
sweetie.
and Toy were talking a little bit before the show comes on, right? And she's like, I just gotta go and whatever. And I'm not even gonna put no earrings on. And I remember her saying her mom is like, you always gotta put the earrings on. I'm like, well, didn't your mom say you gotta put earrings on? She goes, my mama ain't here. I was like, oh.
She ain't here, and I ain't worried about it today. God on this. Get up and go find something.
Look, my Jen says, why do you have snow in Southern California? Global warming.
Child.
Nell said, I can't go nowhere or do anything without earrings. I totally understand. Javon Pearson says, yeah. Javon Pearson said these native Californians are tripping. I have a friend who I went to college with who lives in California. She posted today, she said it's 60 degrees and she has to call out of work and she has to just sit on her couch and drink tea today because she cannot bear the weather. I said, did you say it was 60 degrees? Get
up
now.
Get up and go to work. And what you talk 60 degrees? That's summer here.
But my friend Jason, who I do bro talk with, he was saying that he's from Baltimore. He was saying that 60 degrees there is colder than 60 degrees in Baltimore. So he went.
Well, I get. Wait, 60 degrees where? It's colder than Baltimore.
He's in Los Angeles. And 60 degrees in California, Los Angeles is colder than 60 degrees in Baltimore. And you know me, I'm basically like a meteorologist.
Yeah.
So I know that in my head, 60 degrees is 60 degrees. It's the same no matter where you at. And he's like, no, you got to take in the wind chill factor, the ocean. We have oceans all over the country. Like, you're not going to, like, it's the 60 degrees is 60 degrees. That's just what it is.
The only time I tell you it's different is like coming out of the season. So a fall or coming out of winter, 60 degrees going into summer into fall is different than a 60 degrees coming out of winter into spring. Because 60 degrees going into fall, you're like, oh, it's a little nippy out here. What's going on? 60 degrees coming out of winter, bitch, we going to the beach. Where my flip-flops at?
Wait, so how about this morning, right? Like, I usually, today was like the first day of winter for me.
Uh-huh.
in my household, I would say. Usually, I try to, like, my wife leaves the house, and I don't. So I know these people around here think that I'm like a bum. I know that they do, because they see me when I work to the store or something like that, but like they definitely don't see me leave out to go to work, because I don't. Um, so this morning I was talking to my wife on the phone as she's walking out to the car, whatever. She's like, "Oh my God, it's like all this stuff on the car. I need to shovel the car off or whatever." So you know me, the man. I get up, I put my pants on, I put the shoes on, whatever. I put a coat on, hat or whatever. I bring the shovel. I'm ready to go shovel snow. When I got up there and I saw those like frost on the car, I turned back around. I was like, "I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Like, this is literally, you turn your heater on and press the windshield wipers."
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, "Well, I didn't tell you to come out here." And I'm like, "But you was acting like you do." And I said, "You know what? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. You have a good day at work."
You didn't even come in to go outside to check and see what it was before. But that's okay. You gotta go. Go ahead.
Just go ahead and go to work.
But you were up. So at 6 a.m., let's get our day started. Yeah, no, it's weird how the weather's been. Oh, somebody said Louise loving me for Migos. People in California think the world is ending, but it's already tomorrow in Australia. So come on to the positivity. Hey, Sinye Soul Food. I like that positive perspective spin. You know I'm all about that in life.
You know, today's March 1st. So one of my things is like, I only want to drink water for the month. Guys, I have an announcement, actually. I have two announcements. One I'll make now, one is coming in the month of March. I'm telling y'all, March is going to be an amazing month for me,
Yeah.
and for the rest. So I am so excited about this month. There's
Come on.
things lined up. I got a big announcement coming that I'm super excited about. Another one, guys, I am running the Broad Street Run. It is official. I got the letter the other day. It is happening. I'm very nervous about it because I can barely walk up steps without getting winded. But I am committed. I've been going to the gym. I've been doing the treadmill, which I know you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to actually get out and run outside. But it's cold. I can't run outside. But I am doing the run. I am nervous, but I'm excited about it because this year was all about bucket lists. And like that's one of the things that I've always had on there. So I'm going to do it. Another thing that for March, I'm only going to drink water. I'm only drinking water for March. Today was my first day of doing it. Look at my skin.
Come on now.
Already.
See how you agree with you, lips all supple. You get some Fenty too?
Natural. I woke up. Look, it's not Fenty. Wait, what's that commercial? They'd be like, maybe she's
born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Deer Park. I don't know.
Dexter, you just bring so much joy to a day that I've had. For you guys to know, me and Dex, I think this works so well with us because we were like, y'all would think that we got on here and this would be like the first time we talked in a week or the day.
Yeah.
No.
Did we talk? Oh, shout out to Dr. What's his name on here? Dr. Matt was on here. Dr. Matt.
Hey, Dr. Matt. I'm sorry. I'm late with the stuff that's coming up late for me. Hey, Marjan. Thank you, baby. All right. Let's get into it. But yeah, me and Dexter, we just be talking. So by the time we get here on Wednesdays, that's why we're able to just fall right into it. But thank you, Dexter. In my times, especially the toughness that I've been experiencing as of late, I appreciate you for being there. I appreciate my mother, my dad, just anybody, different colleagues who have been that listening ear and friends. I'm thankful for you guys. What they said on people that be getting on here and be crying, my tribe.
See, this is okay.
I ain't gonna cry on here, but
terrible.
If it does, it'll be natural. I won't be making sure it's a good stream coming before. Gotta
But
stop.
shoot it again. Shoot it
Shoot
again.
again. Stop it, because that you couldn't see the drip off of the chin yet. That's what they gotta see to come
Yeah, I told
down.
you I was going to do a comedy show, and I'm going to give y'all one of my jokes right now. I'm going to talk about people who cry on social media. I've seen people cry on social media, and like during the video of them crying, they've changed angles. Like they've been jumping angles and stuff like that. And I'm like, y'all really? Okay. Really, you really put this together, this whole crying thing. If you cry on social media, you know.
I'm like, if the spirit hits you in the moment, like saying we talk topics and maybe something can get to you, like, God damn, I ain't mean to go there,
No,
but
no.
some y'all, it's a star-studded production.
If me and you were on this live together and I felt like I needed to cry, I'm gonna leave.
Like, I'll be back.
You're never going to catch me sitting on here crying, not on social media. Unless like it's a video of something that somebody took of me,
Yes.
then maybe. But you ain't gonna just catch me like get it together, boy.
You're not scheduling the cry post?
No, thank you. But let me tell you something. If I do cry on here, I'm gonna make it a production like people be doing. Like you're gonna see different camera angles of the tears. There's gonna be a zoom up of the tear. When the tear drops, the beat's gonna drop. It's gonna be a production if you catch me crying on here.
And it's so sad because you're torn between like we're in the stage or you're supposed to be protecting people's mental health and people have outlets and everybody gets caught slipping from time to time. And that's fine and we're supportive. But we all know the repeat event. Every time you it's something to cry every single time.
Like, oh my God. Javon, I'm going to get with you about that because I have some ideas. So Javon Pearson and I are going to get together. We're going to do Dexter Stuckey's comedy show. And it's going to be
Come on. I think said the Oscar winning cry. You'd be like, what's going on?
Seriously, if I'm going to cry, I'm going to put it on the show for y'all because I'm going to fall out too.
Hello. The bigger the cry, the bigger the bag. What the followers, what the subscribers look like. All right, we're going to have to turn it on. Maybe that's why they do that. Maybe they get like extra bonuses like for crying because it brings more attention to it.
This is, you mean attention. Like literally the only thing you get out of crying on social media is attention. Dylan, I just saw your real life deal, guys. He has I literally just saw your message and I was typing another one to say that I think you should definitely be a part of this show, but we'll talk about this later on. Guys, if you do want to check him out though, he has a podcast. It is called Views There. It's really, really, really good. It's on wherever you find podcasts, but he also does a live show on Facebook as well.
Yeah, all right. Check our guy out. But I'll do the one local story.
Yes.
And then Dex, you got it. Dex, thank you for pulling up and programming this show today. Okay. But the one local story here, but it's kind of like local and national news because I feel like more businesses will start to follow suit. Chick-fil-A, a local Chick-fil-A here in Montgomery County, I believe it was, or Bucks County, a county where it's like the school districts ain't suffering out there. So I'll just put it that way. So Chick-fil-A has decided that they are no longer going to allow kids 16 and under in their restaurant unattended. Now, this is just one Chick-fil-A as of now. And why, you asked, mind you, Montgomery County, it's a good area. It's a good neighborhood. You know, they always try to talk stuff about the city. It's a good neighborhood. What's going on? Well, y'all kids in that area has been going to y'all local Christian establishment of Chick-fil-A with a good Christian chicken, and y'all sitting up there harassing the workers, the patrons, just not buying food. Y'all just in there acting up. What's wrong with y'all?
That's I don't know. Like I mean, I do think that's crazy though. I'm not opposed to it. Christian malls like that. Where like like if you're a certain age, you're not allowed to be in the mall without an adult or something. Like I don't know if it's still like that, but I know it was like that for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, because like kids are disruptive. I do think though, if you're in Chick-fil-A, causing a ruckus or whatever, harassing those people who are making $22 an hour, you deserve to be sent home. Like, you got go eat your mom's Salisbury steaks. You can't come in here. You can't come in here with the bullshit. I'm not having it.
Like, these people here trying to work, get a job done. What y'all kids need to be doing is getting your ass as an application instead of you sitting there making things worse for everybody else. But I have noticed, like, when I go on like a Friday night, it is like full of kids 9 times out of 10, no matter what Chick-fil-A you go to.
That's because we don't have any malls to go to. These kids don't have a mall to go.
Yes, that's what I was going to bring it back. But like, there are still malls, but the kids have traded the malls for Chick-fil-A, I guess. What happened?
Because I mean, in Montgomery County, there's no malls up there. Like, but Neshaminy is the closest mall, right?
Is it?
I don't know. One of those malls up there, those Northeast malls, there's nothing in Franklin Mills. There's nothing in Neshaminy. There's nothing in Willow Grove. And actually, Neshaminy is probably the worst mall in the city, or it's not Philadelphia, but in Pennsylvania. It's in Pennsylvania. It's the worst mall in Pennsylvania. I was in there the other day. No lie, Toya, they have 2 stores in the food court. They have a Chinese store, which I think comes with the mall, and then they have like a pizza shop. That's it. There's no Gap in there. There's no Macy's in there. What am I supposed to do if there's no Gap, no Banana Republic, no Macy's? Like, what am I doing with this? The only store I have that I can shop in is Bath and Body Works. Like, I can't be in here.
There used to be movie theaters attached to them. We got to start a petition to bring malls back. Because if you don't, these kids are going to go for these little businesses just wreaking havoc. Bring malls back. This didn't happen as much when malls were fully populated around the country.
Now, we'll say that this same mall, the Neshaminy Mall, a couple months ago, maybe like a year or so ago, there was this big stand in there, like a Donald Trump stand. And I swear, as soon as they let that stand in there, everything closed. Everything closed.
Well, I hope that's a testament to his presidency, his upcoming running. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Child, I was somewhere up north Philly, big ass flag, Trump 2024, and I just, he not for you, right? Not in this neighborhood. He ain't for you.
Well, speaking of maybe not for you, the people of Chicago decided that Lori Lightfoot is no longer for them. It looks like she is out of there. What do you think? Wait, tell me this though. She was the first Black mayor in quite some time, right? And now it is looking like when she gets unseated, it's going to be, there's like 7 people running, most are Black, but the one person who looks like they're going to unseat her is a white man. He's a Democrat and he's pledging to be tough on crime and stuff like that. But do you think that's problematic? She has come out and said that she thinks it's because she's Black, that she's not getting any votes. So what do you think about that?
It's last I checked, there's a lot of Black people that live in Chicago. Like, I don't
think the Black people. Well,
I just need politicians to really start taking more accountability for your losses. As much as the accountability and the things you take for your wins, you need to step up with that same energy for your losses. I would have been good with you know what? I tried my best. Sometimes with what I had to work with. A lot of times your best is not good enough. I'm sorry I wasn't able to step up to the plate the way, the citizens of Chicago would have wanted me to do. I've enjoyed my time. I'm still excited to be involved in politics in some kind of form or fashion, and let's go. But this gotta stop. Like, I'm not in Chicago, so I don't know. According to socials, y'all hit the road, girl.
She's the first mayor, or the first Democratic mayor in Chicago to not get a second term. Like, she only got 1 term, which is kind of weird because I feel like we talk about her a lot. Well, on Bro Talk, we talk about her a lot, and I feel like she's been there forever, but apparently not.
I guess she came in with a splash because once the memes hit that first one, she had that old ill-fitting suit on. Like, why y'all put her in the first song with that dress like that?
So let's jump into the topics. I have 4 topics I want to jump into with you guys today. So the first one, I think we'll be fairly quickly with this one, though. But I have some that I think are a little bit more I think this one, you and I will be on different sides of this, and I think the people in the comments will side with you. Y'all ain't gonna feel me on this one. But
Let's go. You don't know that. Let's do it.
Believe me, I know it. So the corny man conversation that's made famous by Michael B. Jordan. This past week or weekend, he was on the red carpet promoting Creed 3, which comes out this Friday. And L'Oreal, who is a podcast host, she went up to interview him, and he reminded her, like, in high school, you used to call me corny. So she's like, oh, no, I didn't say that. And then he, had to give her the reminder. So we all know how that conversation went, right? So then today or yesterday, Joe Budden decided to jump into this, right? Joe Budden gets into it. But let me just address this real quick with the corny stuff. There's a podcast edition of Patty and the Millennials that's coming out next week that I'm a part of, and Toy and I are part of, and I address this. Guys, my name is Dexter.
I heard you were fired up, too.
I've gotten called corny, like, all my life. My name is Dexter. I played baseball and I would run track here and there, but I wasn't the most athletic. I am athletic, but I didn't play like sports like that. I watch wrestling. I mean, on paper, the boy's not like, like a gangster or nothing like that. The boy's pretty corny. And I'm fine. Like, I am okay with that. Like, I'm married. I have friends. I have, I'm good over here. Like, I'm a good time. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just, whatever. But, I've had that happen to me or whatever. So it's not like one of those things where it's just like, it's uncommon that would happen to people. Well, anyway, Joe Budden got involved in it. And Joe Budden was like, Michael B. Jordan, he needs to stop this. He's wrong for this because, he's corny for this or whatever, because he is doing this to a sister and he would not do this to a white woman. Now, this is where I'm going to say, I feel like we're not going to all be on the same page here, because I think Joe Budden is dead wrong in this. I think that this is my truth. Like, if this woman has called me out and said this about me, about my name or whatever, you said it. So I'm reminding you that you said this, and I'm not wrong for reminding you. My thing is about this, if you're going to make this a race thing and we're going to be serious about it, when people were calling me corny, it was never a white woman, ever. It was black women. I've never heard a white woman say that about anybody. I've only dealt with that personally from black women. So let's talk about that. I thought we were going to disagree. I thought we were going to be on different pages.
So we in line.
Because you're black. I'm just kidding. But like for me, it's
the whole thing, going back to what L'Oreal said, like, okay, they did run the tape back. She basically said it that on a past podcast in high school, he was considered corny. And because his name was Michael B. Jordan, but then she added he was like a young actor and he would come to school with his headshot. So she's like, the other kids were like, what the fuck? Like, what you bring that here for? Whatever the case may be. Like, and we do know, let's not be, kids are cruel. I know we like to sit here and think that kids are just angels and this and that, but if you read or saw Lord of the Flies, which is one of my favorite childhood books to this day, because we love to buy into that innocence, but usually as they grow and by the time they get to high school age, they're horrible people. But so the circumstance, and I hate that he tried. I feel like, Joe, you're just trying to be relevant again. I mean, yes, he does have some relevancy still, but it has tanked after time with some of the weird stuff coming up. But to me, this had absolutely nothing to do with race. This man got a chance to be face to face with somebody who was low-key bullying him when he was a kid.
Yeah, with his abuser. See, for me, I can't be face-to-face with my abusers because they are crackheads now. And unfortunately, I have to have my Michael B. Jordan moment. Like, everybody who has ever called me corny is a loser right now. And she... all the guys corny, though. It be you hoes that was dating them 24-year-olds when we were 16 in high school, and y'all would call us corny. I'm sorry I didn't have a car at 16 years old when your 34-year-old boyfriend had a car. I'm not corny. You're a
Your
loser. And your boyfriend,
34-year-old
yeah,
sex offending
yeah,
boyfriend.
that's who you was with. Your parents knew about it too. But that's neither.
And it's just sad. So we all understand like what corny like, or at least in the black community, what it is. And we're not gonna lie, it has always had a negative connotation to it. So usually like with the girls going after like being a girl growing up and a woman and seeing how it is, I feel like a lot of girls would go, especially when you're young, you go
Can
after the
you,
fast guy, like the
can,
bad boy.
can you say black girls? I want y'all to take this smoke on this one because if this was a black man, we would get this smoke. Can you say black girls? Because it be
Which
y'all.
about yeah, well, yeah,
But
that's yeah.
say
That,
us. Say black girls. Because you keep
I'm
saying girls. You saying girls and women. No, I want y'all to own it. Own this. This is y'all thing. Y'all do this. I want y'all to own it. Black girl. Own it, black girl.
not black girls. Black girls, they call them black boys. Cardi. So listen, I'll equate it to this is something very like juvenile. You should not. I look at women who say shit like honestly past 25. If you're looking at a man talking about, oh, he corny as shit, and I've always been like, bitch, corny pay bills. What is you talking about? Like so, and corny is who you settle down with. Corny is who they're going to be the provider. They're going to, 9 times out of 10, they're going to take care of their kids. They're going to take care of home. They're going to do what needs to be done. Do I understand the draw of the non-traditional corny guy? I would say yes, because I was that young girl at a time like, oh, you want the fast one. The niggas that's going to come and break bread easy. They're breaking bread easy because they really don't have to work for it. They're getting fast street money. So it's always easy to break bread faster that way than a man who like he goes to school, he works hard, like not saying that he's going to not spend because he will, but they're more responsible spenders than the guy who's just going to get it how he going to get it any way, shape, or form. But I feel as though it's corny when I hear women, okay, black women of a certain age look at, oh, he corny. Like, what? I'll never forget I saw this girl, and this was like years later, but in high school, she was one of those girls. Corny, corny, corny. That y'all lie to you now. We had to be like 28 years old. This bitch had the nerve to say, he corny, he don't know how to dress. And I'm like,
Uh,
bitch, what?
Somebody just texted me and said, you must be triggered by this conversation because I can hear you all the way down. I'm in the walkway. We're like, oh.
The boy, the kid is hot. Because listen, Dex has to put on for the corny crew, the ones who were ridiculed growing up. And now they see the success and the kid is married. I'm living my life. The rest of all you bitches that call me corny, y'all all on crack. I saw a couple of y'all at my job talking about we be in the studio.
She was one of them. Yeah, I'm not. Whatever. Let me move on. Some deep standards, and you guys know. Well, you guys may know on this show. I've said it before, and I kind of have to say it again. Deion Sanders used to be my favorite football player, and I would say that Deion Sanders, who is a Cowboys legend, could not do no wrong. Like whatever Coach Prime does, and it is what it is. Like he's just that guy. Well, he's in trouble again, and it's not necessarily because of some HBCU stuff. He's in trouble because my producer's going to get my teleprompter together, and I'm going to read the statement that he made during an interview. He says, well, we have different attributes: smart, tough, fast, disciplined, and with character. Then he said, now when I'm with quarterbacks, when he's looking for a quarterback, he wants someone with a mother and father, a dual parent situation. He wants them to have a 3.5 GPA, and because he has to be smart, not bad decisions on or off the field, because he has to be a leader of men. Now, when he looks for a defensive lineman, he wants the total opposite. He wants somebody who has a single mom who's trying to get it. The guy's on free lunch, he's just trying to make it. He has to rescue his mom because his mom barely made the flight, and he's just got to go out there and get it. Now, there were a lot of people that were upset about this.
Mm-hmm.
including Dion's biggest fan, Dex. And I wasn't necessarily upset because of what he said. Because to be honest with you, I feel like we work in marketing. So like when you're working in marketing, there are certain things that you do and that you look for and certain type of people that fit those demographics. And I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's a bad thing. And I think he broke it down pretty well as to why he looks for them. You want somebody that's a little bit more aggressive, and you would assume that if you grew up a certain way, like you may be a little bit more aggressive. I don't have an issue with any of that. I don't think you needed to say it out loud.
Thank you.
The issue is when he said it, the main host of this show that he was doing was a white man. And that offends me. And I don't like that.
Yeah, that's gotta stop. I never pegged him. Because it's like, listen, we're just going to be real. Like saying what he said, like, okay, it might be a hard truth to hear, but I was reading like some other people's comments, people who played like professional football or like college football, and they were like, listen, I know it doesn't sound right, but this is what people go by. It's a real thing, unfortunately, but it is. It's just hard to hear. And I'm all for you can have certain conversations, they just shouldn't be public. But even just to know that there was a white man sitting there who 9 times out of 10, you really don't have a familiarity of the dynamics of growing up Black in the USA. You're not, huh?
I say you got McDonald's money growing up Black.
Yeah. Like, but no, it probably doesn't trigger like the same thing. It doesn't have the same connotation. So I do agree with you. I feel as though that was very irresponsible of them to have that conversation outside of, like, you taking family business outside. If it was around us, it's okay. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you guys said it on an interview. It was going to get out there. But I just don't like those conversations around people who don't really fully understand the dynamics within these households. You're just going by what you hear. A lot of times you've never even been involved. You've never even set foot in one of these households. So I don't, again, kitchen table conversation. You just don't do that.
But just imagine being a defensive lineman who was recruited by Deion Sanders. Like, just imagine being that guy and knowing have a single mom at home and knowing that, like, he specifically looked at you because of your background, not because your skills, which I'm sure like plays a part in it, but like a deciding factor was like, this guy is going to want and try and need to make it because he needs to get his mom out of the hood. That's scary to me.
It's very scary, but I guess if I was the guy and I'm out the hood and I'm making millions of dollars, size it up, it'd be the ones who didn't make it. Where if I had the money and the checks is cashing, well, what's my story? I'm paid. We here.
Austin Andre's mom, she said something. She said, if you can't help Black people, don't hurt Black people. And I think that that's a really good quote. I like that a lot. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like with us, I mean, we are in this space now where everybody they put a camera on, we're doing it now, and you just throw stuff out there, but you really need to pay a bit more attention of what you put out there. Like if it's something 9 times out of 10, unless you're going to say, I'm saying it with my chest, digging my feet all the way in it, I stand on what the hell I said. But if it's something, especially when you're dealing with the intricacies of a culture, I don't know. Sometimes I don't like always speaking for all Black people. And I feel like a lot of the times when we put these cameras on, so many people are just, okay, I speak for the race. Well, maybe a pocket, but it's more than just that. And I just wish people would be a bit more conscious or conscientious of the messaging that they're putting out.
Perfect. Now, there's another thing that's happening now where guys, well, one specifically, he said it on social media and it has been blowing up and people have been giving their opinions about it. So one of the things, somebody said something, a woman had said something like off-putting about a man, and he said something to the effect of, you got these corny girls, he didn't say corny, corny is just in my mind. He said, you got these girls, you got these lame girls thinking they can talk to bad N-words. As like calling himself like a bad N-word, and not bad in the sense of like negative, but like how girls call themselves bad B-words. Do you have an issue with it? Like with a guy calling it?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah. Because men need to be men. Like this, like that's why are you in here in the space really comparing yourself to a pea popping?
But why?
Do you want to be a pea popping bad bitch? Like I'm
But why do
confused.
you
You want to get
take?
your freedom?
By But why do you take it there though? Why can't it be like when girls call themselves bad B words, right? They've branded that. Like this is me, I'm a bad B word. Like and it's like a term of like self-reflection, like you think that you're cool, you're a good girl. You know what I mean? That you're that
Uh-huh.
girl. So when a guy puts the word bad, if he calls himself an N-word, nobody has an issue with that. But he put bad in front of N-word and that's a problem.
You want a vagina too?
But I don't understand, like, how is bad now associated with woman, or female? Like, how is that, like...
Because just because how it's not that actual word. It's when you put the two together, and you think of bad bit, you think of a Kim Kardashian, you think of well, to me, Monica is a bad bitch, still is. I mean, even you would think of a Santana, that's a bad bitch too.
But I'm the B word, I'm calling myself the N word, which y'all are okay with calling yourselves. I, I,
It's just weird.
I just think we're getting into this place where men are not allowed to just live.
You
Like, for instance, that got that man killed. Like, he was destroyed because he said that. Then, like, there is another thing that's coming out about men. They're saying, like, men should not be smoking hookah. Straight men should not smoke hookah. So it's like, we can't call ourselves bad N-words. We can't smoke hookah. There's a thing with Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Major. They came out and they were like close in pictures. You can't be that close with men in this picture. Like, y'all don't think that's a little crazy that there's all these stipulations on what it means to be a man? And
if you want to be a man who calls yourself a bad bitch,
this stuff is coming from not just black women, but black people. They're the ones who are saying this stuff. What is going on?
I just listen at this day. It doesn't matter. Bad bitch, bad. At the end of the day, we talked about it before. We're heading into this genderless society. No more kind of to everything is just I'm going to be either a baddie or I'm not. But to hear a man refer to himself as a baddie, like of course you should have confidence. I want a man. I want a fine ass man. Like I want a man who on his shit. Give me a fine ass corny man. But if you want to attach the word baddie to it, oh, I'm a baddie. It to me, it's just
Bad.
weird.
He said
No,
bad. I mean, look,
it's weird.
I think
But Michael Jackson said I'm bad, and then it's generational too. Michael Jackson, I'm bad, and everybody in the '80s was rocking out. But now the girls have claimed I'm a bad bitch. So for this generation, it just it doesn't sit well. At least for me, my personal opinion. If I'm out on a date with a lovely man and he refers to himself, you know, I'm a bad nigga. What? First, I would ask for like, could you explain? Like, explain what you mean by
I'm
that.
that guy. Like I am him. I am. I am.
And I would prefer you say I'm that guy. I love that. You know I'm that guy.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. And no, y'all wouldn't. Because let me tell you what's gonna happen. That man got killed for saying he's a bad N-word. People are gonna be like, you know what? I'm not gonna say that no more. Now people are gonna be like, I'm that guy. I'm him.
I'm that N-word.
I'm the one. I'm the one.
Yeah.
People gonna and guess what? Y'all gonna start saying, I don't like no man that be full of himself. I don't like no man that's saying stuff like that about himself. Men shouldn't talk about themselves like that. Only you should wait for us to compliment you. Y'all are women. Oh my God.
Well, I think it's the same with women. So now we're getting into egos. And if you lead yourself very ego driven, because I'll say this all the time, like I hate how our society, blackness, we put so much stock on, and I'm just going to take the bad bitch, like for an example. But really, the bad bitch doesn't, it should be deeper than that. When I hear bad bitch, I'm thinking like surface level stuff. And I feel like that's mostly what people see. Like, oh, she got the 30-inch weave and, hang it down. The hair is always done. Makeup's always done flawless. Bitch got a body. Rather she hit the gym or, or paid for it, whatever. Like, it's giving bad bitch vibes. But I just feel like people should lead. Like, why can't you just lead in more like, oh no, I'm very smart. I'm very creative. I'm very like personable, but I just so happen to be a bad bitch. And I like my men like that
okay,
too.
but the men, when he says I am a bad N-word, he is saying that he's smart. He is saying that he's a leader. He is saying that he's got money. Like that's what he's saying. Y'all,
Yeah,
y'all women are
but
just official. Y'all automatically go to looks and body when this man could literally be just talking. I mean, we're literally fighting generations of being called corny. So now we're up and now we're calling ourselves bad N-words and we can't even do that. Like,
well, I'll just say this, if you start referring to yourself as a bad N-word, cancel.
I don't use the N-word.
Good. And please don't. For me, I don't want anybody. I don't like if a man who came up to me on the street, like, and with the ego, I'm the one, right? I'm fine. Like,
I
okay.
am the one, so it is what it is. I mean, you see it.
That's great, but here's another thing. If you really are that way, you don't have to say it, because that's what? When my presence walk in a room, you know it.
Yeah,
you know what bad when they pull up.
Here's the reason why I feel like I need to say it. Or want to say it. I say it because I can. You see it. You see everything that I'm doing. This is how I know I'm really that guy, too, to be honest with you. Because I was talking to a friend, for a coworker that I haven't talked to in years. And you know what the first thing she said to me? Dex, you be out here killing. I'm so inspired by you. I love you. You really are the king. You always called yourself the one, and you truly are the one. And I know it. But I don't need y'all to tell me something that I already know about myself. So I'm gonna tell you.
Nice to have that, because let's be clear, we know a lot of motherfuckers who walking around in delusion. We see it every day. We ain't gonna bring it up on here, but I'm just one of them. Like, of course, always carry yourself with that air, like you see it, you know what it is. Other people, I mean, yes, to know, like, it's one of those things, like when somebody try to hurt you, feel like, oh, well, you got me fucked up. What you thought it was? Everything that you think about me, yes, I am that. I claim it. I walk in it. How I talk, how I speak, my delivery, you see it, and you're mad about it, but I don't feel the need to have to say it. But if you want to, like, thank you, boo, I'll take all the compliments. Like, thank you, boo, I see it. I'm like, you notice? But I think it's just kind of delusional if you're like, even the bad bitches who keep walking around, bad bitch, hashtag bad bitch. Like, you are insane.
Because that's the thing. So you're not gonna say it to them. You're not gonna be. Oh, I'm not you specific, because I actually have seen compliment people. But like most people ain't gonna give you the compliment. So it's like, I don't need you to do. I'm gonna tell you about myself, and the only thing I need you to do, or only thing you can do, is agree, and that's it.
Somebody said, Austin Andre, mom, I love her. There's a difference between confidence and cocky. And somebody, Louise said, and men in my life are kings, spouses or nephews, cousins, uncles, friends. So,
this though, one thing I don't do, and I don't like, is when people call themselves kings and queens. That like kind of like drives me crazy. Like
Grand Rising Queen.
Yeah, I don't like that. I respect it, but I don't like
it. Like, I don't give people, drag them too much on that, because we are in a space, again, the timing is everything. Black empowerment, you want people to know, like, where you are. Like, yes, see yourself kingly, see yourself queenly, like, you are the sun. I'm for it. So I don't knock people who subscribe to it, but I just don't. But whenever I hear it, oh, good morning, queen, I'll be like, what?
Well, when people be saying to me, like, hey, king, I'd be like, I don't really feel that way, especially like working from home and stuff like that. I'd be in my t-shirt and like drawers and stuff like that, and people be like, good morning, king, and I'm like, there's nothing kingly about this right now. Like,
well, just king, technically, yes, it is, because a king, you can do whatever you want to do. So if I'm a king, I'm walking out button ass naked, and what you gonna do? I'm a king. I'm off with your motherfucking head.
And the sweetness 215, I don't have an issue with other people saying it. I just know I don't. Austin Andre's mom, you don't like kings and queens, but you want to say bad B or bad N word. Well, I don't say it, but what I'm saying is, if other people want to say that, like, I think that it should be okay for them to say it. Like, I don't have an issue with people saying that.
Yeah. No, you can say it. I'm just going to look at it. If I swear the beans are right. If I'm with the dude and he refers to himself as a bad N-word, you know, I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad bitch. I'm what? Because this is how I envision you saying that. I'm a bad.
Yeah.
I'm a bad. That will probably be, especially like if it's date related or something. I promise you, that's the last. And then that's a great story for my friends. Like, girls, you know, he called his ass a bad
So you
N or bad
a potential mate because he said something like that.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not living like that.
The final story. One more. I have one more thing, and then I have like a topic that I want to get into really. So this week, Larsa Pippen was on the Tamron Hall show, and Tamron was dating Michael Jordan's son, who is, I think he's like 16 years younger than her, or something like that. I don't know the exact.
Right, that's a lot.
But you know, he's younger than her, whatever, and also like Scottie Pippen's wife is dating Michael Jordan's son, and obviously the two of them don't have the best relationship. And even if they did, the two of them have a relationship with each other. Like, they know each other. Like, they were coworkers at one point. Get your bitch. Like, why is your wife over here with my? I'm so guys. Sorry. I'm thinking, talking to the friend. You know why? It's because Gib 215 is on here, and like, if we were talking, he and I, this is what I would say.
Gib 215. Hi, wedding friend.
But this is just like, to me, this is insane to me to like be out here and dating this man. If I'm Scotty, I'm looking at Mike like, come on now, like, this ain't okay.
It's not.
And also, I think it's embarrassing to Scotty. I think it's embarrassing.
Absolutely.
And I think it's embarrassing to Mike Jr. I don't care about the age difference. It's because of how y'all know each other. This is insane.
It's weird. And to me, I mean, Larsa, she was on Tamron Hall and she was giving her the third degree about it. And I mean, some people, ain't none of her business, but it's like, what? Like, anybody would look at this considering, like you said, the background and the relationships. And Larsa, we do know her for being a shit stirrer and an opportunist. So for her to sit there and make it seem like, oh, there's two people that fell in love, bitch, where? Like that. If I'm Michael Jordan's mama, and she wouldn't answer that question, because you know the mama was probably say my name and find out what's going to happen, because it's really about to get messy.
You could have literally changed this guy's diapers, and I don't mean like because of y'all age difference. I mean because you knew family. Like, I'm sure you met this boy when he was like into Power Rangers.
When they was playing together, coming to the game, Larsa, if you were there, you ain't never.
Like,
you had no clue that was Michael Jordan's son when you met that man. Also, you're disgusting. You're a creep. If you were a man, I would look at a man as disgusting as well. This is creep ass behavior. It's weird.
Yeah, and it feels like a little like groomish too. Like, I know the age. I think the son's like 21, 22. He's of age, but still, like, it's just not okay. I think it's weird. And also, I think that never mind. It's negative.
But Chelsea, real quick, she said, right, but you hit a certain age and sit down. It's just giving thirsty. Exactly. Like,
and one more thing, she was there to talk about like basketball wives or whatever. So I do think that Tamron should have let her talk about what she needed to talk about. But you have to realize, like, your reality TV show career is not that entertaining. It's not that interesting. So people
never have
your personal life. If you know that and you feel this way, why wasn't that man sitting there next to you? Why are you taking all the questions? And it's a 2-part relationship. He should have been there too.
She probably said, no, babe, don't worry about, because you got to prove that I'm down with you, because I really want to be down with you. So no, babe. He probably offered, babe, you want me to come? No, I got this. I'm going to protect my man.
He would have said no. Like, I'm sure she didn't even ask him to go, because no, I'm not going to be on this because this is stupid. We look crazy.
She's on Basketball Wives now, because I remember the first first time I actually saw her on television outside of the Kardashians, because she kind of taught them how to trick off. And she kind of taught them, or they kind of taught each other. And then she was featured. She was one of the cast members of Real Housewives of Miami, the very first season. And I was like, okay, I've heard her name in the industry for a while. And she didn't buy. I was like, okay, nice. She seems like a nice girl. And then the season ended and all hell broke loose. I don't know what the fuck went down.
You're right. I stand corrected. I don't know why I thought it was Basketball Wives. It is the Real Housewives of Miami, which airs Thursdays on Peacock.
Okay, so they must have brought her back because the name is a draw. And initially, that's why they brought, because with Scottie Pippen, and you know, the old athletes back in the day, we really didn't hear their personal business like that. And Scottie was a huge name, so I understand the draw. But this time, y'all motherfuckers know y'all put her on the show to be messy. Because of this situation, and this is where I just don't like a lot of times how the entertainment business moves. When it comes to making decisions like this, you're messing with people's real lives. Like, at the end of the day, these are real families. So when little Michael Jordan's mother pull up and try to beat on this woman's ass, because you know it's just a matter of time. I don't even have no motherfucking kids, but I'm ready to pull up and beat Larsa ass for the mama.
Conversation with her about it, but judging by the Tamron Hall stuff, it don't seem like she's really open to it. She seems to be living in a sense of like delusion, and I think that reality TV stars tend to do that. They tend to live in like a state of like delusion. And speaking of that, and the Real Housewives, the Real Housewife of New Jersey, Teresa, I can't pronounce her.
Judice or Judice, depending.
A big wedding over the summer, and her brother and can you read my own notes? Her brother and
sister-in-law,
but because the sister-in-law was not included in the wedding party, and they did not invite, and she did not invite the sister-in-law's parents. So I don't know the full scope of the back and forth. So when I'm reading this, like, there's been a lot of like back and forth about the two of them, the brother and the sister and stuff like that. But I will say this though. I don't think that anybody has to put a sister-in-law in their wedding. That's one thing. And another thing that I don't think, you can't tell me who to invite to my wedding. I don't care if they're your parents or not. Like, I don't have to do that. That is insane to me. So like,
no,
then that's good that you didn't come to my wedding.
Yeah. It's so weird because I was 100% like, and I still do feel that way. But then I was happy because I did get to catch up on the episode last night. And so then we're talking about when you add cultural influences involved. Like, on the surface, the spectrum, yeah, of course, this is stupid. You don't have, like, what? Like, to us, no, we don't come from that life. But apparently, like, how it's normal for them, and it's a huge slight in that culture, like when they have events, to not extend that kind of invite. And I, even though watching it, I thought it was crazy. I'm like, it's really still not that big of a deal. But the ladies and other people on the show of that world, they were like, oh no, you absolutely do not do that. So when I saw that shit, I said, well, I guess I don't have a horse in this race. Like, I can't just know when I get married, I'm inviting whoever the fuck I want to invite, and who's not coming, you just didn't get the memo. Like, it is what it is.
What's the culture? What is their culture?
They're heavy Italian, and then a lot of them are Jewish based too. So most of the Italian women, like, they were like, no, this is absolutely, like, you invite everybody. You've been knowing these people for 30 plus years. Why wouldn't you invite them to their wedding? Okay. So on that, like, I kind of get it, but at the end of the day, it's my wedding. I can invite who I want to. I'm not having a wedding it's not a party that my brother is involved in. Like, it's a party for me. You are an in-law. Know your position.
So, like, is it a part of their culture to make sure the sister-in-law is in the wedding too? Like, that's a thing?
Right. It's stupid.
For me, when I picked the people that I wanted in my wedding, I picked guys that I consistently talk to, that I feel like are my friends, that I know are my friends. Like, these are the people that I picked, and responsible, because I needed them to buy stuff. So like those were my thought processes. It wasn't about like who I've known the longest and all that kind of stuff like that. Like you pick the people that you're close to.
Yeah.
I don't understand like why this will be a conversation. Like if my sister was like, you need to put my husband in the wedding, I would just have to look at it like these guys that I picked are like your husband don't compare. Like you can't.
Yeah, like it just it's. I'm not saying it ain't cool, but like you're not here. But I guess some people take slight to that. I mean, and let's be clear, everybody that you're in-laws with, like, I talk to you because I have to. If you were not a part of this, and you're cordial and you save face, but we're not friends. We're not hanging the fuck out. I'm not calling you on the weekend. And the history of Teresa and like her in-law, her sister with her issues with her sister, they're always off and on. So I don't want the possibility of having somebody in my wedding and the bridal party and in those photos where 6 months later down the line, I'm not going to be talking to you. You need to see yourself.
That's another thing, like outside of this that I've seen. I had a conversation with someone fairly recently, and he was like, do you still talk to the guys that were in your wedding? I was like, yes. And he said, oh, that's crazy because like I don't talk to anybody that was in my wedding, to either of my weddings. He's been married twice. He said, I don't talk to any of the guys that were in my wedding. For me, like my guys are like my lifelong friends. So like I just can't imagine that. But I think it goes to what you're saying. Like people are pressed and pushed to put certain people in like events that are important to you. And these people, if they're not important to you, they're not important to you. That's just what it is.
Yeah, it's weird. At the end of the day, live your life for you. People have to just be comfortable, and I'm learning this every day. You have to be comfortable with pissing people off. You're not put on this life to make everybody happy. And if you're upset about a decision that I made for my life, there's no infringement on yours in any way, shape, or form. And you take issue with that, you are the issue.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm still getting text messages to this day about people who are upset that they weren't invited to my wedding. So when you do get married, just know that people, and they tell you too, like they'll be like,
well, and I'm gonna sit there and look at you. Well you want to see some pictures?
It's funny to me. Like, I mean, what you want me to do?
Yeah, like, what am I supposed to do with this information? You weren't there, and that's just. I still like you as a person, but y'all be getting it. Now it's different. Again, like you said, these are your lifelong close friends. If that's the case, absolutely. Certain people, yeah, of course. If I choose to do it that way, of course you're going to be involved or just a VIP at my affair. But for the most part, I mean, if I met you in the office, okay.
Well,
like
one of my friends I met in the office. One of the guys.
I was doing that to segue until our work life, home life conversation. But yeah, no, if I work with you, huh?
One of the people I did put in my wedding, it is one of my friends from the office. But I feel like we'll be like lifelong friends and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like that, you guys talk till this day still. So it's like, you're not saying like some people you do have the pleasure of meeting at work, and sometimes you do form lifelong friendships, but for the most part, it's not always going to be like that with work employees. Going into the last topic of the night, the work-life balance. So lately, it's been starting to see more. I talk to like a lot of my friends, and you've kind of been seeing the theme pop up on social media, the conversation around like the work events that are supposed to be voluntary, like, oh, we're gonna have a company happy hour, da da da, and they'll put out the thing of, well, it's not mandatory, you don't have to be there, but it's clear that if you're not there, people are going to notice, and then the next day you're getting the judgy eyes from the oh, well, why weren't you there? And then it goes into, you also add this thing of social media. Like, I'm a firm believer. I mean, some people, if we follow each other on social media, cool, we don't, but I don't need my management team or like certain people that I work with. You see me every day at work, that's enough. What the fuck you need to see what's going on my social, like, why do we have to talk there? We are not friends. Like, and it's also creepy when you see those coworkers who watch, because the stories show the creeps, where I see you watching every single story. Everything that I put up, I see you watch it. But yet I get to the office and it's no words for each other. Meanwhile, don't even know you exist in these social media streets or outside these doors. What is this about?
I've experienced it differently. I would experience it where people who I work with, and I allowed them to follow me on social media, which I actually hate to do, but they would see stuff that I would post, and then when we're in person, they would ask me about it. That drives me crazy. Like what I post about, so this boy that you see on social media is not the same guy that's working in his office. He ain't the same person. When I'm in the office, how I am and how I be acting is not how I cut up in the streets. I'm a different breed of human being on the streets. It just is what it is.
And why you do that?
And then you asked me about this at work. Like, you trying to be funny? Why you asking me that?
What's going on? Like, and that's why I hate where we are with this. Like, you don't speak here, this and that, but I obviously see, it's just when you management, not me, but just hearing other people's stories, it's like, but you look at other people's stuff and I see you in their likes, but you're not in my likes. Like, this is psychological warfare that needs to stop. Like, people like spend their lives looking, and most people, you live in anxiety and you overthink things and like, oh, what does this mean? It needs to stop.
So I am 100% remote at work, right? And they're trying to do family fun day, and it's like 12 o'clock during the work day. So you can't even be like, oh, I have something to do this night. It's like literally like during the work hours. So I ignored it when they first sent it out because I was like, oh, I don't want to go. Like, I'm not interested in doing this. I actually only met my team one time too. So I just don't want to do it. So then they're like, today I got multiple messages from the leadership team like, hey, Dexter, are you going to join us on this day? And I had like a sense of like anxiety because I'm like, I have to lie to them. Like, I have to come up with a lie because realistically, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do this, but I don't know how to just say no to the management team.
You're going to have to learn to just get comfortable with that no, because at the end of the day, it's not affecting any of the work that's getting done.
It's this thing where it's like, since you're working remotely, it's kind of like, are they going to take the remote work away? Or are they, I'm not doing something? Do they think I live in a different state? Do they think I'm not doing my job? All these things start to like go through your head or whatever, when it's just like, just don't want to do it.
Yeah, just no. And if y'all think that I want to be antisocial, and that's a lie, because you know, when all the people who are still at the office space or even in the meetings, the virtual meetings, I show up and show out. I just don't want to hang out with y'all. Well, like, I don't want to get drunk around my coworkers. Like, y'all aren't my friends. I'm never going to get caught out there like that with people that I work with. You will never come back to the office after a happy hour or like some crazy work engagement, and I will never be the topic of discussion. I know this about myself. Some people are okay with throwing up all over the place, being a park ape at the company events. If that's what you want to do, so be it. Just because we choose not to do it, why are we looked at like sideways? We're not antisocial. I just don't want to mix business with pleasure.
Lady Pink Diva said no is a sentence. Where were you, 8 hours ago? Because do you know what I told that lady? I said I'm babysitting. I said I'm dog sitting my neighbor's dog. And when I wrote that, I said, I can't believe you wrote that. Like, I was like embarrassed that I wrote that. I felt stupid because like I would never dog sit nobody's dog.
Yes, because and that's why I used to be on that train. I stopped. I had to, because I'm like, I'm literally sitting up here trying to think of an excuse to tell somebody no to something I just don't want to go to. It does not mean I don't like you. I love you're a cool person.
I don't even know them. So I met this people one time. I don't even know them. Like now I'm glad we talked about this because I feel so much better about it or whatever. But like I felt crazy. Like when I got presented with it, but I really felt crazy when I told that lie because I'm like, this wasn't even necessary. Because then she got excited and started asking me about the dog, and I'm like, I don't know, the damn dog don't exist. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
So you want me to follow up on a conversation about some damn dog that don't even exist? Are you okay?
And that's exactly what was happening.
Yes, and that's why you just got to say no, thank you. But I'm going to give you the good Dexter personality. You're always going to get that. That's never going to be lacking. But I'm sorry, I don't want to go to family fun day with you after work.
My Jen said they're going to find out because they did this live. So if I did things correctly, the way I think that I did, I went through and I tried to find all my coworkers' social media pages and I blocked them. So I don't think that it's live. If they do, well, now you know I lied.
But at the end of the day, social media, I hate what it's turned into. Like, literally, this is a place for me to do hood rat shit with my friends. Like, and I know it's like been, it's become a business tool and a way to make money and different things like that and your public persona. We've talked about this. Somebody asked me the other day, you have LinkedIn? And I just looked, I said, yes, but I don't like to tell anyone because it's like, stop. This needs to stop. We should not be all involved in every intricacies in people's lives on a work level. You're going to get me at my best at work. But when I go home or when this story pop up, be prepared to see some ratchety ass shit. And I wish you would say something to me when I walk my ass into this office on Friday. Well, why was you in my business?
Wait, I said Andre mom said show up on Monday and tell them that the dog died. Could you see that's when lying goes too far, because like literally y'all, when I told her that I'm babysitting or dog sitting a dog, whatever, she got so excited. And the level of excitement, if I told her that dog died, she probably tried to come to the funeral. I'm telling you, it was like oh God, I really like these dogs.
Girl, look at your own dog. What the dog next door? What?
She has 4 of them. Like, you got your own dog. Go pet one of them.
What you want to see the ashes? You want to do the motherfucking funeral? Like, what are we here for? So just, you'll get better. And it takes a while. It does. Because I was always that over. No, somewhere along the line, I just said no. And this is on family. If my mom is watching something happened this weekend and family likes to operate like this, well, don't tell so-and-so this because you think I'm going to sit here and not tell somebody what I'm doing, grown as hell, like what I'm like, no, break these generational curses.
And just to close out, I want to just address these comments. Lady Pink Diva said on Facebook, I'm a Christian. On Instagram, I'm secular as F word. Marjane said, most companies watch the employees' social media. Okay, well, if they watch my social media, why they don't be giving likes?
Thank you.
And then Austin Andre mom says, about the dog being buried. She missed it. They buried the dog the same day. No questions. It's too much to talk about.
Yeah.
I can't even talk about it. It was too much. It was so hurtful.
We sitting up there looking, and some of the co-workers is like, a dog? You like to go for a dog?
I'm distraught, baby. But that is, I think, our show today. I'm glad.
Yeah, you did so good.
Yeah.
Come on, bad nigga.
See, that's why, because I'm a bad. So that is funny. So next week, guys, I do want to go into more. I have an announcement coming about something I'm working on, and I'm excited about it. I'm going to say it next week on this show. What else is going on? Patty the Millennials podcast. It's available wherever you guys listen to podcasts. Toy and I are both on there, and then we will also be back next week here, 6 o'clock, doing the comments.
Yes, guys, coming back at ya. We will be here. Thank you all for always tuning in, showing up and showing out, because if it wasn't for y'all who come and watch us, it'd be 2 less bad bitches talking to each other. Not as bad bitches talking to each other.
Because look, we really appreciate y'all, because we know our following, it may be small, but it is engaged. Get that, ladies and gentlemen. This has been an edition of The Comments.
Come on, Mr. Salesman. Bye, y'all. See you next week. Check out the YouTube.